Good evening, all of you, and welcome to today's session of creating your ideal life script. Even before we could get started with the session, I would love to know which part of the world are you all logging in from. So tell me below in the comment section, or I'm so used to speaking in Zoom. So tell me below in the chat of YouTube as to which part of the world are you all logging in from. Bangalore, Chennai, Kerala, Calcutta, Mumbai, Bangalore, Houston, New York, New Zealand, London, Chennai, Bangalore, New Zealand, Bangalore, Chennai, Tirunelveli, Salem. That's lovely. That's lovely. It's so good to see all of you from different parts of the world. So good to see all of you. Because I'm sure on a Friday evening, we all would probably have very different plans for ourselves. But I'm really happy that you chose to work on yourself and you chose to be here in today's session to learn about your life. So, why is today's session important? So, today's session is going to happen in different sections. Okay. First of all, we're going to set an intention as to what you want to learn from today's session. And once we set the intention, we will start to understand a little bit about manifestation and we will start to understand why this process of life script. I, in fact, got my goals journal from 2023. Yeah, this was written in 2023. Yes, correct. 2023. And I will talk to you about the entire process of ideal life script. And I will also talk to you about the science behind it. And I will teach you how you can create this process for yourself. So for you to completely finish the process, it is going to take at least 4 to 5 days. So I'm going to take you through the intervals of what you need to be doing every single day in order for you to get the complete ideal life script and how it is going to be one of the most important process in the process of you manifesting your dream life. So before we get started, let me ask you all something, because setting an intention when you start something, like how I spoke about this even during the Mahashivratri session also, is the most crucial element in our life. So every time before you get started with something, it could be with your processes that you're doing every single morning, with your work that you're doing, the time that you spend with your children, or just setting the intention when you wake up in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. So now I want to understand, what is your intention from today's session? So tell me in the comments, what is your intention for today's session? Learning about ideal life script, to know what it is, to script my life, to manifest, to understand goal writing, to understand manifestation better, to manifest my dream life. That's lovely. That's lovely. It's so beautiful to see all of you have very similar intentions, right? Even before we can get into the process of ideal life script, let's understand one thing. We almost in the end of March, right? So today is almost like we have another 10 days and the month is over, which means the first quarter of 2026 is over. So now it is the best time for you to sit down with yourself and reflect and understand, hey, what is that I've been doing really well about my life? And what happened to all of my goals that I started off with in the month of January? And how have I gone back to the same old ways of living? Or am I doing any progress in my life, or do I feel stuck? Because I always recommend, even in my sessions that I do, I always recommend people to divide the year in 4 different parts so that you have, for every quarter, you have a different goal. So ideally, had you set the goals at the beginning of January, by now in the next 10 days, your first goal would have come to a completion. If for some reason you've not gotten into that process yet, no problem. No problem. Don't have to feel guilty about it. I will teach you as to how you can navigate from this moving forward so that you can still make 2026 your best year. So most of you here, after you've seen the reel that I posted on Instagram about how I wrote a bunch of things on this notebook. Even before, I had a lot of things. For example, how I wrote down about my Instagram, how I wrote down about my relationship, how I wrote down about the different things I've created in my life, even before all of this came into reality. So while I'm going to teach you the step-by-step process of this, I want to remove certain skepticism that is there, and I also want to remove certain false expectations that people have in the process of manifestation. So now, is creating your ideal life script a substitute for you taking action in your life in order for you to manifest the kind of things that you want? No. It is not a pill. It is not a magic pill, because the process of manifestation is not magic. It is about you aligning your energy with the energy of your goals, because you are vibrating at a specific frequency and your goals are vibrating at a specific frequency. Let's say your frequency is of that of scarcity. Then you're going to attract a lot of things into your life which is going to make you feel more scarce. So you will experience more scarcity. That is why I encourage people to be extremely aware of the kind of words that they use towards themselves, right? Even as a joke, be extra cautious about the conversations that you have with yourself, because that is your way of bringing into reality what you're constantly speaking about yourself. So any process, be it goals journal, be it ideal life script, be it creating your vision board, doing any process serves only one purpose. It makes your subconscious mind believe that what you desire is what you deserve. Because once your deservability factor goes high, once your energy vibration starts to change, then the kind of things that you want to attract in your external reality becomes so much more effortless and easy, rather than you going through this entire process of struggle. So the ideal life script is one of the most crucial processes that will help you train your mind and your body to be in alignment with the kind of goals that you want to create for yourself in your life. So before I teach that, so today's session, I'm going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you the process of doing that, the science of doing that. And we'll also be collectively doing a meditation for us to get in touch with our future self, for us to get in touch with our higher self. So once we finish that, for all of you who stay till the end of today's session, I have something very, very special for you. It is a gift from my side to you, but I will speak about that once we finish the meditation, because right now, what is more important is for you to sit down and make notes. If you don't have notes, please grab your notes or take your phone and start making notes while I'm speaking, because there are multiple processes of taking you through the process of creating your ideal life script. So now first, let's understand, what does an ideal life script do? And how is it so important in the process of manifestation? So now, the biggest challenge with so many people in the process of manifestation is for their nervous system to not be safe, for the nervous system to not feel safe or familiar around the things that they're creating in their life. It's very similar to, let's say, for the longest time, you've been longing for something. Let's say you've been longing for love, you've been longing for money or success or opportunities. So the nervous system, our nervous system becomes familiar with the emotions of longing. I'm longing for this, I want to experience this. The feeling of longing becomes so familiar that when you actually attract into your life the thing that you want to attract into your life, that feels unfamiliar. Because you've practiced unconsciously and you've trained your nervous system unconsciously for almost, let's say, 10 years or 7 years or 8 years in being in the feeling of, I don't have it, I want it. I don't have it, I want it. And suddenly when you have it, if you don't know how to hold it, most people end up sabotaging that. And that is why a lot of people create problems in a relationship even when there are no problems. That is why most of you know you're very talented, know that you have the skill set, know that you have the grit and commitment and everything. But despite all of this, when there is an opportunity that comes your way, you end up procrastinating. You know you're supposed to be finishing the task today for you to move forward. You know you need to be hitting the gym. You know you need to start working on yourself. But when the time comes, you procrastinate because your nervous system does not feel familiar around success, abundance, money, love, or anything that you want to attract. So the goal for us through all the processes that we do is to train our nervous system to feel safe and familiar with the kind of things that we want to create for ourselves. And also in the process, what else also happens is your subconscious mind, the beliefs that are there, the old beliefs from the old operating system, most of the beliefs are not even yours. Now we give the subconscious mind an opportunity to train itself to change the beliefs. And what generally ensures changing the beliefs? Repetition. For you to constantly keep repeating the same thing to yourself again and again, because your brain does not care what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. It only cares about what feels familiar, what feels unfamiliar. Whatever feels familiar, I feel safe around it. Whatever feels unfamiliar, I'll feel unsafe around it. And that is why Ideal Life Script is such an incredible process to familiarize your nervous system with the kind of things that you want to create in your external reality. And the second thing, what it does for you is it starts to rewire your subconscious mind. So it is a 4-step process. Take your note and start writing what the 4 steps are. Step number 1 is clarity. What is that I want to create in my external reality? So for you to gain clarity, I don't want you to shoot in the blind. So what I want you to do is, I want you to categorize your life in 6 different parts. Your health, wealth, career, relationship, spiritual, and mindset. Let me repeat that. Your health, your wealth, your relationship, your career, spiritual, and your mindset. Your health is more about your physical health and your mental health. What is that you want to experience in your life with respect to your physical health and your mental health? The second one is wealth. What kind of money or abundance do you want to create for yourself? This can be your lifestyle. This can be the investments. It can be the money that you're making in your life. It can be anything that is related to abundance. Next one is career. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to continue the work that you're doing right now? What kind of opportunities do you want to experience, or what kind of business do you want to create? How many employees are there in your business, and what kind of revenue is your business creating? That is health, wealth, career. Next one is relationship. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your loved ones, your relationship with your professional colleagues, your relationship in general with yourself and everything on the outside. The next one is mindset. Mindset is extremely crucial. What kind of a mindset do you want to have? Consistent, committed, persistent, whatever that is that you want to create as a mindset, the pointers of mindset. The last one is spiritual. For different people, the understanding of spirituality is very unique and different, and everything is so beautiful. So depending on your level of awareness of spirituality, what kind of a connection do you want to build with yourself, and what kind of a connection do you want to build with the divine? So these are the 6 categories. So step number 1 is for you to write down pointers. No past tense, present tense, future tense. Just pointers of what you want to experience in your reality with respect to these 6 areas. So for example, let's say health. Health can be, let's say you want to become 60 kilos. You want your body fat percentage to be so much. You want your skin to be extremely glowing. You want your hair to be like thick, anything. You want your mental peace. You want to feel at calm. You want all of your chronic diseases to be gone. So always when you're writing down the pointers, please focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. The biggest problem that people have in the process of creating the goals for themselves is focusing on what they don't want rather than what they want. So for example, let's say you are stuck in debt at this point of time. Most people operate from the perspective of, I don't want debt. I don't want debt. When you say you don't want debt, where is your focus mostly going towards? Debt. So instead of, how can you rewrite the same thing? Abundant life. I'm making X amount of money. Let's say I'm making 3 lakhs a month. I'm making 5 lakhs a month. Whatever that is, focus more on what you want to experience in comparison to what you don't want to experience. Because the universe does not care what you want, what you don't want. It only cares about the energy that is coming outside of you through your thoughts, your feelings, your vibrations, all of that. So the focus is on what you want. So step number 1, become clear in these 6 categories of your life. What is that you want to create? So once the session is over today, from Monday, let's say you're starting this from Monday, because I have something very special for you tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So hold on. So Monday onwards, what I would recommend for you to do is, Monday, sit with yourself, set an intention saying, I want to become my best version. So if I could see, why is it called an ideal life script? If my life were to be ideal, if I had a magic wand with me and I could create whatever I wanted in my life, what will I experience in my external reality? So you categorize this in 6 categories and write it just as pointers. Let's say for wealth, 5 lakhs per month, or 2 lakhs per month, or 2.5 lakhs per month. What is that? Whatever that you want to create for yourself. Mercedes car. So be specific about what you want to experience in your external reality and just write it as pointers. This is step number 1. Step number 2. This is something that you will do on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how quickly you finished doing the step number 1. So step number 2 is about you becoming the director of your life, and you creating the script for your own life. And how do we do that? So imagine I have like 30, 40 pointers, everything put together. In every category, I have 5 to 6 pointers that I want to create. And my recommendation is always 80% immediate goals and 20% long-term goals. So 80% can be your goals from the next 8 months to 1.5 years, and the remaining 20% can be next 3 to 5 years. So categorize the goals accordingly. So now what you do on Tuesday and Wednesday, not Tuesday. So if let's say you're taking a couple of days to finish this, what you're going to do on Wednesday and Thursday is for you to create an ideal life script. You're going to consolidate all of these pointers and write a script of your life. I'm going to give you an example that I always give even in my sessions. So the example goes like this. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and my husband is sleeping next to me, and both of us are head over heels in love with each other. And then I see that my children are sleeping in their room and they're very happy, healthy and genius children. Then I go to the washroom, I check my weight, I'm in my ideal weight, my body is so fit and I'm so grateful for this beautiful life. And then I go hit the gym, I work out for an hour and come back and sit and have a conversation with my husband, and both of us are talking about the businesses that we are building, and we have more than 100 employees who are working with us, and we're building the business to X revenue, and we are planning to go on a trip to Switzerland, everything on business class and staying in 5-star hotels. This is just the initial part of the script. So now if you take a look at the script, what all elements are taken care of? How I look, my health is incorporated. My relationship with my spouse is incorporated. My relationship with how I see my children is incorporated. The kind of abundance I'm creating is incorporated. The kind of lifestyle I'm living is incorporated. So now your job is to create a detailed script with what you want to experience, with the details of how you're going to experience, and with the details of how you feel on the inside when you're experiencing all of this. This is the most crucial aspect, because every time in the script you incorporate words like, I feel so grateful, I feel so powerful, I feel so healthy, I feel so abundant, I feel so loved, I feel so in zen, I feel so at ease, so peaceful. Whatever emotion that you want to experience in your life, when you incorporate that as a part of your life script, what are you doing? You're training your body to familiarize these emotions. For some of us, we don't know how to feel abundant. But when we train our body saying, when this is happening, this is not happening in the future. This is happening in the now. So your job is to first descriptively write down your life script. When I wrote down my first ideal life script, it was around 17.5 pages. So if you're getting started with this journey, 4 pages, 5 pages, 6 pages, totally okay. There will come a point where you will redo your ideal life script, because most of the things that you've written in your life script has already come into your reality. So you will again redo the process of the ideal life script. So you are taking enough time, a couple of days for you to sit down and be in that zone and write. You can use the help of any AI tool like ChatGPT, Claude, or anything that you're comfortable with, but please don't let it decide what you want to experience. You decide what you want to experience and feed in the data so that it can help you enhance the process. That is something that you can definitely take help of. When I did that, there was no AI, there was no ChatGPT for me to do that. But now that we have all these resources available, you can use it for your convenience. So once this is done, so now we're done with Monday, Tuesday of clarity and the pointers, and we're done with Wednesday and Thursday of us finishing this. Friday, your job is to record this ideal life script in your own voice as a voice recording with a nice, beautiful music playing at the background on your laptop. Or if you're somebody who's already an editor, you know how to edit it, your voice and the music, incorporate that. Why is this important? Because music has the ability to enhance and create emotions in your body. So when you're visualizing, so I'll tell you what will happen. So step number 3 is for you to record it in your own voice and add music to it. And from next Monday onwards, every single day, morning or evening, I would recommend either as soon as you wake up or right before you go to sleep, I want you to close your eyes and listen to this ideal life script every single day. So now when you listen to this ideal life script, what is basically happening? Number 1, you're familiarizing your mind with the kind of reality that you're living, because the mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So whatever emotions you're feeling in your body, your nervous system gets used to those emotions. So when you're feeling success, when you're feeling empowerment, when you're feeling abundant, when you're feeling love, you're training your nervous system to feel familiar with this. So now when my nervous system feels familiar around this, every time there is an opportunity that gets created in my external reality that has the possibility for this to come into my life, my nervous system will make me take action. The procrastination gets wiped out. So you're not going to operate from a space of fear, because you're operating from a space of fear because your nervous system says, this feels so unfamiliar to me. This is something I don't even know what it is. I don't want this. So anything that is unfamiliar is unsafe. So it sabotages that, it pushes that away. But now every day when you use this as a visualization process, because a lot of people also struggle with visualizing. So every time when I recommend them to do visualization, one day they're able to do visualization and the next day they're thinking about what to eat for dinner, what happened. Yes, the mind is going all over the place. So this is the best way for you to create your entire, what is ideal life script? What is the ideal life that I would live? Will this grow and will this improve and enhance in your life? 100%. What I wrote 7 years back is not the same ideal life script that I'm using right now. It keeps changing because you change and your reality also changes. Then you start incorporating more things that you want to experience in your external reality. So this does three things. It changes your brain chemistry, the neural connections, because every day through repetition you're listening to the kind of life that you want to live. The second thing, it makes your nervous system familiar around emotions like success, abundance, love, and everything that you want to attract. And the third thing, it changes your identity. All these three things are so crucial in the process of manifestation, because manifestation is not about when you wish for something, magically something is going to come into your life. When you wish for something, when you're aligned to that, when your energies are in alignment with the kind of things that you want to create in your external reality, you're inspired to take action in that direction. And as a result of that, manifestation feels so seamless and so organic. So manifestation is not magic. It is a lot of work, but a lot of internal work. So the process of manifestation is 80% internal and 20% external. But most of us do the mistake of 80% external and 20% internal. That is why it feels like a struggle. Manifestation is not struggle. Your life is a reflection of what you've manifested all these years. Okay? So now that you've made the notes, we're going to get into a very, very powerful meditation. So wherever you are, if you're driving, my recommendation is park the car somewhere. The meditation is going to be anywhere between 9 to 10 minutes. So park the car somewhere, sit with yourself. If you're at home, no distractions, close your door, sit with yourself for this process of meditation. Okay? So all of you sit very comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And let it out. Welcome to this transformative space. This is not a space where you need to improve yourself. This is not a space where you need to become someone new. This is a space where you can stop hiding onto who you no longer are. This is a space where you can stop holding on to who you no longer are. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And notice how familiar your inner world feels. Notice how predictable your reactions can be. Notice how quickly you recognize yourself in certain thoughts and emotions. This familiarity often feels like safety, even when it is painful, even when it limits you. Now, take a slow breath in, not deep, just steady, slow breath, and let it go. Take another deep breath in, and now let it go. Identity is not just who you think you are, it is how your nervous system expects life to be. It is what you brace for, it is what you prepare for, it is what you assume will repeat. At some point, this identity was necessary. It helped you survive, it helped you adapt, and it helped you belong. But survival identities are not meant to be permanent. Bring your attention into the body. Notice if there is a sense of holding on to the old roles, holding on to old reactions, holding on to familiar pain. Just let yourself notice this without trying to change it. Now, take another slow breath in. Most people think change requires effort, but identity shifts happen through release. Identity shifts happen when you're no longer feeding the old patterns. Identity shifts happen when you're no longer rehearsing the old story and no longer tightening around the past. Now, say this to yourself silently. I am allowed to change. I am not required to be who I was to stay safe. I can let go without losing myself. Notice what happens when you hear that. There may be fear of the unknown, fear of emptiness, fear of not knowing who you are without your old patterns. And that fear is very natural. When an identity loosens, the system feels exposed. Not because something is wrong, but because something new has not stabilized yet. Take another slow breath in. Notice the space that opens when you stop defining yourself. You're not your habits. You're not your coping strategies. You're not your past reactions. You are awareness that learned patterns, and what is learned can reorganize. Say this to yourself silently now. I release outdated versions of me. I release outdated versions of me. I do not need to rush who I am becoming. I do not need to rush who I am becoming. I allow a new way of being to form naturally. I allow a new way of being to form naturally. Identity does not shift in a single moment. It shifts through repeated experiences of safety. Right now, you're creating one of those experiences. Notice how your body feels when you imagine not reacting the old way, not proving, not explaining, not defending, just being. Notice both the relief and the discomfort. Relief comes from freedom, and discomfort comes from unfamiliarity. Both are signs of growth. So take another slow breath in and let it go. There may be grief here. Grief for who you were. grieve for what you endured. Grieve for how long you lived inside certain patterns. Let that grief be present. Releasing an old identity does not erase the past. It honors it and releases it. Say this to yourself. I honor who I was. I release what I no longer need. I am not behind. I am safe where I am. Notice how the body responds to that statement. So much identity is built around being late, being behind, being not good enough yet. These stories keep the old self in place. Right now, you're stepping out of that loop. You're not becoming someone else. You are allowing more of yourself to exist. Take another slow breath in and notice the body again. Notice if there is slightly more space now, more room in your chest, more ease in your shoulders, and more neutrality. This is integration beginning. Identity shifts are quiet. They're felt more than announced. They show up in how you respond tomorrow, in what you no longer argue with, in what you no longer chase. Stay with this sense of openness for a few breaths. No imagining, no planning, just staying present. And say this to yourself. I am allowed to evolve. I do not need to explain my growth. I trust this transition. And notice how these words land. Some may feel solid, some may feel shaky, and both are absolutely okay. This is not a performance. This is a reorganization. Begin to notice the space around you now. Notice the sounds. Notice the room. Stay connected to the body as awareness widens. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this permission with you. You are not required to stay who you were. Change does not need permission. It only needs safety. And you are safe to change. How do you feel? How are you feeling? Calm, peaceful, hopeful, amazing, feeling zen in flow, feeling so powerful, feeling like I can manifest anything in my life. So now tell me, did anything in the external world, did anything change in your external world for you to feel this way? No, right? That is the power. These emotions have always been there inside of you. And nothing needs to change in your external reality for you to tap into these emotions. Because you've always had the power to tap into these internal emotions. Yes? That's beautiful.